This is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 15. I have one of my two co-hosts in the building, Brittany Hill.
Hey, hey, hey. And Raven, as you guys know, is out dealing with a broken ankle injury. So she is not in the building with us today. However, her spirit is always here. She's in the building by spirit, with us. Raven, we are wishing you a speedy recovery, so that we can have you physically in the building, because we do miss you. But yes, so she's dealing with that. She'll be back with us soon.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully back sooner than later. She gave us maybe a 3 to 6 week kind of time frame. Hopefully it's way before that. We miss you here, Raven. I promise you I did everything in my power to make sure that your voice was here. But if it's not, once again, we'll continue to work. I'll continue to work with you to try to find out some kind of solution to get you in the building when you're not here. But we do have a really special guest in the building. Someone who, once again, I really feels really who has the ability to articulate herself at a high level. Labria.
Hi.
The fact that you're here, I know there's some things that you want to talk about. We really want to get to know you as well. So if you would just kind of go over like a brief, overview of you, your past, maybe some family things as well, and maybe some messages that you want to get into before we really truly get started.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Labria. Hey, y'all. I'm so happy to be here. When Calvin asked me to join, I was like, yeah. So I'm so excited to be here. But I am born and raised in Austin, Texas. I know there's not very much of us left. But I am born and raised here. My family is from, my mother's side of my family is from Thailand. And then my father is African American. So I am biracial. And my grandmother is a hoot. I don't know if you guys have me on Instagram, but if you see videos of her, she has no filter. She's full Asian, and she's a handful. But about me some more. I work in property management. I'm a property manager at a mid-rise downtown, and I love it. And I'm super proud of myself because it took a lot to get to this point. I've been in multi-site for 7 years. So I started off as a leasing consultant. So I'm just really proud of myself. It's a recent promotion. So
awesome! Congratulations!
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm really proud of myself, and I think kind of the message that I really want to bring forward, especially when Calvin asked me to join, especially Black women, even Black men in our age group. I think we tend to not focus too much on our mental health. I think that gets put on the back burner a lot. And I just want to express how important it is, because I feel like I probably wouldn't be in a position where I was if I allowed my mental health to consume me. I would probably, I don't know where I would be. So I just think it's important that people understand, you hear mental health all the time and you're like, mental health. But I think it's important because I think that people need to take care of themselves, and you can't expect to get places in life if you are not taking care of you. People, I know people that have kids, and people who are just like, why is all the odds against me? And you're gonna feel that way. But I just feel like when people, I've been there, and you just got to take care of yourself. Go talk to somebody, talk to somebody that you can confide in, be active, go do things that just truly make you happy. And I promise you'll see a difference in the way you carry yourself, the way you perform at work, the way you perform with your friends and your family, or just being around your friends and your family. It just really changes you as a person. And I've seen so many people who just kind of put their mental health on the back burner, and you can tell, So I'm at a better place in my life now, and I just want people that I know and love, or just people that I know to know that it's possible, considering what I've been through, that it is possible to get to a point where you really want to be at, and get to your goals. You just have to, it's not easy. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1,000%. And nothing that, a lot of people will see you at a certain point, and think that that's where you started.
Or it was
No.
easy breezy getting there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Or you had the support, and
Yeah.
you know, and it's one thing to have the support. Yeah, that's a bonus, but you know, I think not having support is a bigger push. You have to want it. You know, you have.
That's
to.
what it boils down to. You know, the people around you can want it for you
Yep.
so much, but if you don't want it, you've got to have that. My mom always says. My grandma always said, you have to have a willing mind.
Yep.
You know, and that's so true. Like, you know, how bad do you want it? Go
Right.
get it.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Exactly, and it's crazy how you know you can really talk yourself into a depression, or you could talk yourself into being stuck. I mean, I can think of a past relationship that I was in, and I remember telling myself, "This is my life." You know, like this
Yeah.
is just what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I might as well hang it up. Like it's just
Yeah.
what it is. And I started telling myself that
And believing it,
and I
right?
started believing it.
Yeah.
Now I look back like, girl.
Right. Isn't it funny how you look back and yeah, I 100 and I think sometimes too that, you know, just kind of touching on mental health, because I'm big on that, especially 2020 did it for me.
Did it
you
for
know,
me too.
The year, 3 years prior, up until 2020, I had been in a 3-year relationship, a toxic relationship, narcissistic relationship. I've kind of talked about that a little bit. But at the beginning of 2020, I had to come to a point, and there were people around me that, were like, you deserve better, all this stuff, right? But it's almost like until you realize and wake up and get to that point where, you know what, this is not my life.
Right.
I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not settling. I'm not putting up, but just being in that emotional, draining relationship.
Yeah.
Coming out of it, and it was like February of 2020. But then I found myself in a funk and in depression, and I had never felt like that. Like I had never experienced that. So that's when I was like, this shit is real.
It
like,
is real.
and you can. I feel like sometimes it happens before you know it. You don't even realize that you are in a depressive state, or stuff like that. And
I feel like I've had a great upbringing. I've had
Yeah, absolutely.
great parents.
Yep,
I've had a
me
great
too.
family, and I never, people are like suicide. I'm just like, how can people get to that point? Like,
Yeah.
How can you get to that point where you want to take your life? But I remember being in this situation, like, I'd be better off if I wasn't here. And then I was like, whoa, I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause, you get to that point where it's like, wow, I need to go talk to somebody because I cannot believe I just said that and meant it.
Yeah.
Like when I said it, like I lost it, I lost it because I actually was like, I'm actually at that point where I would rather not be living
Yeah.
than to get myself out of a bad situation.
Right.
And I'm so glad I did. So.
Absolutely.
How'd you get out of that? Like, what was the actual cause to that? Did it get to a point so far that it was like, all right, it's time?
Yeah, like it got to a point where like I had to, like I would go to bed every night and I'm just like, like you could have a better life. Like you could be doing this, you could be doing that. And I just started picturing a better life for myself. I just would picture it, I would dream about it, I would write about it in my journal. I would talk about it with my friends, I would talk about it with my parents, and I'm like, I deserve this. And I think it came to a point where it's like I'm willing to fight off, I'm willing to lose everything to get to a better me. And it got to a point where I was living with this person, and I was like, you know what, in order for me to leave, he can have everything.
Yeah.
I will take my cats and my clothes, I will start over. And I did. I took my cats, I had one cat at the time, now I got two. But I took my cat and all my clothes, and I left all 3 TVs, all 3 couches, every bed, every pot and pan. I went to go stay with my mom, and I stayed with my mom for about 3 months. And I bossed up and got a 1-bedroom and bought all new furniture. And I'm just so glad I did it.
Yeah. Isn't it like a weight lift when you get to, man,
yes.
I talk about it all the time, but protecting my peace, protecting your peace.
Yes.
That peace, once I got over it and got through it and got to that peace,
Can't
I'm
nobody
like,
break that. Nope.
can't nobody break it. And I'm not allowing anybody to break it.
That's when you start setting up boundaries.
Yes,
Even
yes.
with friends, relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody, friends, family, relationships, if it slightly throws off your piece,
Yep.
then you got to move around.
Right.
Because it took me too long to get here.
It took me everything to get to this point,
Yeah.
and I'll be damned.
Right.
If you and your emotions, or your toxic, or you just being
Your
toxic,
energy, whatever it is.
take that away from me.
Absolutely.
So I just want to encourage people, because I actually know people currently that are literally dealing with the same stuff that I dealt
Yeah.
with before, and it's so easy to tell people, just leave.
Yeah.
Just you deserve better. But it's like, and I have to realize how I talk to certain people. I'm like, I can't just tell them, girl, you need to just leave. I don't know why you're being dumb. Like, just go.
Yeah.
It's like, you really have to be like, I know it's hard. I understand what you're going through, but I just want to show you what you could have if you just do it.
Yeah.
Because it's one point doing it, because it was hell. Like when he found out I left, oh my God, when he got home from work and saw all my stuff was gone, that was a month of just, it was crazy. But I'm glad it happened.
Yeah.
And now I can look back on it and be like, yo, that was the right thing to do. So I just think, women, even men, that are dealing with situations where they feel stuck.
Yeah.
You're never stuck. You ain't stuck nowhere. I don't care if you got 5 kids with somebody.
Yeah.
You ain't stuck. If you're not happy, move around.
And it affects all ages too. Going back to 2020, even my son. So I have a 17-year-old.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, a 17-year-old brother?
Yeah. I'm old in these streets.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a 17-year-old.
That's
He's
awesome.
my only one, my baby. He'll be a senior, but he is he's very, and I know parents just brag on their kids, but he is very, very, very intellectual. He pushes himself. I'm the one who's like, he's wanted to take, let me take this college course, and let me take this AP class, and let me do this, and I'm like, hold on, you need to balance that out. Throw in some office aid or something, because you're taking too many heavy course loads. But he has always pushed himself. So during COVID, his grades started to slip, and which was that's one indication. I was like, what's up?
Yeah.
Something's off. Like, this is not like you. And I actually work at a healthcare, a nonprofit organization, and I was out at one of the clinics, and I actually saw his doctor, and she was like, how's Chris? And I was like, his grades are slipping. And she said, get him into a therapist. And she said, ASAP. So that next week I took him to a therapist, and he was dealing with anxiety and depression.
Wow.
And he was 16 at the time. So it's all ages, and then, and even, speaking to the therapist, she was saying, he's been dealing with anxiety and stuff like that since when me and his dad got divorced when he was 5, but he's always been a go-getter, so he pushed himself so he wouldn't focus on having to deal, you know what I mean? And 2020, when everything shut down, he didn't have
those options.
He didn't have those other outlets, and everything kind of, he hit a wall. But I just say that to say you're absolutely right. Men, women, kids, teenagers, like, mental health is real. He's doing so much better, by the way, y'all.
Oh, good.
He's doing good, and he enjoys therapy. That's his outlet. Talk to somebody, just like you said. They need that. So just kind of wanted to, piggyback what you were saying and emphasis on that.
I truly think there should be like a mental health required course in school. Like, I just think, it doesn't have to be super serious, but I think it should be a moment for everybody to talk about, things and how to deal with things. Because I think the diagnostic of anxiety is, I'm sure, probably 80% of the world probably do.
Right.
Like, it's crazy, and I have anxiety really bad, and 2020 was so hard for me. I'm a social butterfly. And, you got me stuck in the house. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
So
what are we doing?
Yeah, some people were enjoying the seclusion, but I was like, no.
Right.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy. It was affecting me at work. My boss is like, well, Brie, you're not feeling yourself. I was like, well, I feel like the only people I see are you in my apartment. So I
need out. I need outside.
I need out. Can't even go to the store.
Right.
So yeah, I just, long story short, I just want people to realize how I think people don't really take mental health very seriously. and don't think that it's that big of a deal. Especially when we carry so much, you
Right.
know. We care about other people's emotions before we care about ours, and you can't do that.
Yeah,
do that.
absolutely.
So
And I think it's very important that that conversation is had, but every person is, who do they learn from? Your parents, right?
right,
And if that's not the norm for your
Right.
family, like I was introduced to therapy at 13 years old,
yeah,
but that was outside of my parents telling me that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. I
Yeah.
thought going to the counselor's office meant you were in trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
right,
You know what I mean? Like there are counselors and therapists who are qualified to have those conversations with you in your schools, your middle schools, your elementary schools. But like growing up, I just always was taught, like, if you go to the counselor's office, it's really you're in
Yeah.
trouble. Like
Right.
you did something wrong.
I want to go to counselor just to get out of class.
Right.
Can I go talk to the counselor? Right, but I didn't really know what that meant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. I remember we had a counselor, but I think the counselor was everybody's friend. You know, I could go in there
Right.
and sign my party slip.
Chit chat.
Yeah,
We were going to chit chat.
yeah. What you
And I
doing?
think like, cause I'm really a bit, because of what happened when I was 13, like the ability for that counselor to be able to handle that. So counselors are usually every kid's friend. You know what I mean? Like, because they're supposed to be.
They're supposed
Yeah.
to be.
And they
Yeah.
don't, and kids don't recognize that because every teacher is trying to be their friend, but the counselor is supposed to be the person who you're closest with.
Right.
So
You
the
can
only way they can
open
build
up to-
relations with you is if they are being like super cool with you and stuff like that, hoping that you feel comfortable enough to tell them something.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean? So the help is there. I think the education to find the help isn't. I
I
don't
agree.
know what these kids are dealing with now, but I didn't get a pamphlet on my counselor when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get that information saying, "Yo, if you need to talk, go to her."
Yeah.
It was like talk to your parents first, type shit.
Right,
you know?
Right.
And I'm
I
not
agree.
going to speak for all parents.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of parents that I've seen, they teach their kids to be like, they don't really, they don't touch on that vulnerability side because
They don't
either-
know it either.
Right, or they're too scared to. I'm not your friend, so I'm not gonna come across as that. I don't want you to be no punk. You're not old enough to have an opinion, or you're not old enough to tell me you don't like something. And I just think that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
I really think you
You got to find the fine line in
Right.
between disciplining and or shutting, like not necessarily being their friend. 'Cause I think some people feel like if they're quote unquote their friend, then they're gonna push over them, be a pushover or whatever. But also communication. I think it comes down to communication, allowing them to know. If you're going through something, tell me.
Yes.
So they don't have a fear
Yes.
of coming. I can't tell you how I feel because
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm
for
gonna get
it.
in trouble or X, Y, like that. So that dialogue means if you ever feel uncomfortable, if you ever feel, and I think even going back to my son, I think, his dad, we were both in the military. He still works for he's a DOD civilian or whatever. But I feel like my son has always had the pressure that he has to be not perfect, but like we have high expectations for him. So he can't, and I never like am on him like that. I know you are capable of doing great things, but he has, this pressure. And I think even, with school and stuff like that, he felt like he was going to fail us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we had to circle back. And if you need help at any time, look, the school has changed. So I may not be able to help you with the work, but I'm going to find you the
I don't know
tools.
shit. I
I'm
didn't
going to
know
find
when
you
I
the
was in school.
tools. We
I
going
don't
to
know
Google,
You a tutor?
yeah, I will probably. I may not be able to sit in here and do. Now I can put together some projects. Like I can put some stuff on some paper and stuff like that. But
Those
that
are-
math,
Yes.
that math, we're gonna get an app
Google
or
it.
something.
Google the
Yes.
problem.
But so going again on what you're saying, I think just communication. Sometimes and I don't know like the statistics to it, but I do feel like the black culture it's almost like what you said. Our parents didn't know. They didn't.
That's
They
exactly
weren't.
what I said.
Yeah.
Not almost.
Well, you said our parents. I'm speaking specifically for the black culture,
Yeah,
but
for
even
sure.
like not just them not knowing, but I feel like we've always had to deal. Like we've always had to you just get through it.
Yeah.
You don't complain. You don't. we got to boss up. Look at what our ancestors went through. Like you just boss up. I feel like we suppress a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling because just get through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the new generation? The kids?
Z.
I envy them because they have the tools and the knowledge now that I wish I would have had at a younger age.
So do you think that Gen Z are too baby?
Yes. But I also
so they have the
think
tools,
that-
but they're also baby.
No, but I also
No?
think that's what children should be, is babied.
Too baby? Cause I feel like sometimes. What about street smart? Cause I feel like some of them ain't got no street. Like my son ain't gonna bust a grape. Let me tell you something. He is not gonna bust a grape. You know what I mean? But I was the one out trying stuff. I'm going out. I know that if something happened, I can get myself out of a situation.
Right.
I don't know that they have those type of tools.
Right.
You know?
I agree with you. I think that, whether it's street smarts or common sense smarts. I mean, I'll tell you one
Let me
thing.
tell you, grown-ups don't have that sometimes. But go ahead. I digress.
I mean, I work for the place I work for. We have rents anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 a month. So we got people.
You won't be seeing me anytime soon.
But you gonna see me in the office. You gonna see me living there. But we have people that come down, literally, probably born in 1997, but are making so much money to afford to live there. And I had one guy, kid you not, come down and ask me, "Ma'am, I don't really know how to mail this letter. Can you show me how to mail a letter?" I was like, "You make."
Right.
$80,000 more than me. And you don't know how to mail a letter, so I'm helping him mail a letter. He's dead ass. Like, where does the stamp go? Where does the address go? And then so we put it in the envelope, sealed it up real pretty, and I'm like, okay, what's the address? He was like, I don't know. It's on the letter, and I'm like, bro, why didn't you say that?
Yeah,
it's crazy. And
yes.
he's like, okay, well, what do I do with it if I want to send it? And I'm like, you could put it in the outgoing mailbox, but it's like it's crazy because this I'm pretty sure his kid, got his paid through college, finished college, probably got his master's, but don't know basics. And I feel like our privilege, the generation before us and our generation, we went through experience.
Right.
We have the experience behind it.
But
80s, 90s.
As you were saying, like, do you feel like they're not street smart? The crazy thing is, you can Google street smart.
Yeah, you can watch a YouTube video on how to defend yourself.
You can literally pull up a video and be like, so if I'm in this situation, how do I act?
I mean, I follow someone on TikTok.
So you're just saying all the tools are there for anything that they need.
The things that certain traumas and certain experiences taught us, we learn from the traumas and the experience.
Going through it,
They don't have to learn from that. They can see it on YouTube and know, you know what? I'm probably not gonna go in that hood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably not gonna hang around that kind of guy, or kind of girl. Like, I'm probably just not gonna do that because I know better now.
You're right.
We had to experience that for us to learn that. They can literally be on the internet and figure that out.
I feel like I've had a conversation with my son, something to that effect, like, I already know that. Why would I do that?
Why would I go to the hood? I know what the hood looks like.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let me drop you out here. Why would I do that? But that's what you're absolutely right. You sound like okay. I'm like, okay, I'm putting it together. You're right. But that's so crazy. It's
But there's also a downside to that because you got these young kids that think they're gangsters and want to walk around with guns and think that, man, I'm quick to shoot. I don't talk, I shoot. And they're like 16, 17.
Because they saw it online.
Because they saw it on the NBA YoungBoy music video. Don't get me wrong, I love me some NBA YoungBoy. But like, I have, I don't do lashes anymore, but I used to do eyelash extensions. So I love the fact that I did that because I had so many different clients from, I had different age groups. I had people who had 5 boys, and she just vents to me about her boys, and I'm just like, man, like, I can't believe what these kids are literally doing, or the fact that shooting that happened on 6th Street recently.
Yeah.
Actually, there was something else. There's two. There was one that happened last weekend, and then the one that people were really talking about.
Or someone got killed.
There was one last weekend?
Yeah.
I don't even think I heard about that
I
one.
heard that
Exactly.
one
It's the
either.
norm. No, like no one cares.
Yeah, they're like, at this point, we're just gonna avoid 6th Street. I've been avoiding that place.
Yeah.
But that's the double-edged sword, you know. Like, yeah, it's great for the people. Yeah, you have to go through it so you can have ideas of how to protect yourself. You know, I watch ID all day. I watch murder mysteries on YouTube.
Yeah.
So can't nobody really play with me and try to get at me. Like, it's not happening. But you know, then that's the benefit of it. But the negative is, you know, people. You know, they see things and they think that that's how they're supposed to carry themselves, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's dangerous. You know?
I mean, even in that light, like nothing's changed. We as kids saw the same shit.
Yeah.
Like
that's true.
unfortunately, we saw the same shit. So it being a double-edged sword is, I just don't know if they're gonna learn what they need to learn quickly enough.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
that's it.
it's available, but I don't know if they learn it quick enough because of these people who go super viral, been on YouTube for X amount of years, and that's what the kids are listening to. But I also think it's really like it's a high level privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to be able to see things in front of you and then handle your business. So like anyone who makes it in this kind of like time frame, I commend, because I'm like, I didn't even know what it would look like to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I had no idea. Now kids have an example of what they want to do, whatever it is. They could be a mailman. There's 1,000 videos about mailman. I want to be a fireman. I know exactly what a fireman's responsibilities are.
Right.
The fireman doesn't have to come to school once every 3 years and tell me what it looks like. Like I can go and research what my career is going to be prior to me even coming close to being that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did want to, talk about, you doing lashes and what you said as far as, a ton of people working in the customer service atmosphere, right? You get to see a ton of people. Mm-hmm. I've been in the service industry for 10 years at this point, and I've seen anything from divorces happen, marriages, proposals. Home dude was coming there on Wednesday with one girl, Thursday with a different girl.
See.
One day the dad has the kid, so he brings him to Olive Garden because he likes it. The next day the mom brings the kid to Olive Garden to eat. Like I've seen so much, and I think that builds character and like understanding and seeing like, shit ain't sweet out here.
No. No, yeah, it's experience. I mean, you
become a therapist too.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. With doing my actual 9 to 5 and doing lashes, I mean, they were my therapists sometimes.
Yeah.
I was just like, and it was so nice because they'll come back to the next appointment. So girl, so what's going on with what's his name?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh girl, let me tell you. So it was nice, and I only stopped doing it because of this promotion, and I really want to take it seriously. I want to take my career to the next level, and I don't need the distraction. So that's the only reason why I stopped. I know some people are mad at me. I'm sorry, but maybe once I get comfortable in my role, I'll start doing it again. But no.
For sure.
You have to let me know if you do, so I can get your contact.
I got you.
So why do you have a Milwaukee jersey on?
You know what? Because, so I just got this jersey, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were talking about the playoffs a couple episodes ago, who we wanted to make, it. Remember, I said I wanted Milwaukee to make it because I wanted to look at Giannis a little bit longer. So
He has a girlfriend.
I still can look at him. I ain't trying to take him home. I mean, if he
You want that
lied,
things available.
if he lied, I mean,
His address.
if you listening, or if anybody that knows him is listening, you just let them know. Anything happens, they fall off. No, but yes. So I'm representing. I still want the Suns to win, but this is just because I wanted
That's
to.
not how sports work.
This because I wanted to look at him a little bit longer. I had to put the jersey on in lieu of tonight's game.
That's not how sports work. You don't get to wear the opposite jersey, but root for the other person.
I still want CP. This is just for him. I can have a player that I like to look at.
Not in the same playoffs.
Well, sorry to the Suns.
So, something I missed. I fucked up, guys. Like I didn't hit record. Didn't do it. But something we did talk about is, I think that was my first time I ever met you, like in person. Mm-hmm. She made shrimp and grits and didn't waver. A lot of people make food and I eat it. And it's like one of those cooking shows. Like it's like,
over you. What you think?
what do you think? Is it good? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, don't watch me cook. And I was like, and I'm, coming there to your place at the time. And for the first time, I didn't care. I was like, cook. Like, I always like that. Like, you cook, make your food. Like, how good can shrimp and grits be?
Right.
She made shrimp and grits, didn't waver, not once. Handled her business in the kitchen from start to finish. Gave me a plate, ate it, great food. That's lacking. That don't happen. That doesn't happen often.
Well, I did ask for your input and I think I make shrimp and grits all the time. But the fact that I had a chef in my
That's what I'm saying.
I had to be like, Calvin, so like if I wanted to make my grits creamier, what do you recommend? He just looked away. He's on his phone. Butter. I was like, bet, thank you. I felt like I wouldn't do it justice if I didn't ask for any type of advice you can give me while you're in my kitchen right now.
I just feel like if you have a chef in the building and you're cooking for them, like it's just an expectation.
It's an expectation.
Yeah, like and like I cook. I love to cook. I cook all the time. Like I cook for my parents. Like I love to cook, and I don't really get complaints. But if Calvin is coming, like that's something else. Like I'll probably order something and then put it on plates, and then that way, if he bites into it and says, "Oh no," I'd be like, "Oh,
why did you make that?"
Yeah, I didn't. I picked that up. But if it's good, oh, I'm glad you liked it. That's all I'm gonna say. I still ain't gonna take care of that. I'm glad you liked it.
Sorry, Calvin. Like
it is pressure.
It's natural. Like when I knew you was coming over, I was like, all right, okay, so make sure I season the shrimp good. I'm gonna get the fresh shrimp, not the frozen shrimp. I'm gonna go get the fresh shrimp and get about a pound. I was not playing.
So it's so funny. Like, I went out of town last weekend, right?
Houston?
For the 4th? Yes. And
wait, the 4th? Like a couple days ago?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. We day trip down and back.
You on these day trips? You gotta chill.
Down and back. Day trip. Down and back. Sunday, fun day, come back.
Yeah.
You gotta chill. You gotta sit somewhere. You got better needs than me. Like if I take a trip,
let me tell you.
I gotta sit the fuck down.
So my cousin has a job. She got a promotion, and she works like 24-hour shifts. So Sunday was her only day off, and then she's back on call on Monday. So that's why, because her schedule's all over the place, and we gotta take advantage when she has a weekend off. But anyway, it was the 4th. I didn't know. My sister had talked about having people over, so there was talks that you might come over.
I had no idea. Like I asked her early, and she was like, I don't know.
But so when she mentioned it to my mom and we talked, me and my mom were joking around, and I was like, what? Calvin's on? I didn't know. I was like, what are we gonna cook? And then I was like, wait, we gotta set the plate. Which side do the forks and knives go on? Like, hold on, we gotta get some new wine glasses. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, because Calvin was coming. Just so you know, like, that's the pressure that we had.
No pressure on you.
No, but it was a joke. Like we were just teasing.
That is wild pressure. Like I'm perfectly fine eating ramen noodles. There's a cup of ramen up to that. That's my survival. Like if some shit goes wrong and I can't survive, like that's the one.
So if you ever come over for dinner and you look at our table and it's all set, that's an inside joke. Yeah, that's for you. We did that for you. Google and everything.
So Calvin, do people have the expectation for you to cook every time you try to have a get together?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. When you hit me up, I was like, you cooking?
So the funny thing is, like, with the original name of the podcast, like, it was Sometimes We Eat, Sometimes We Talk. I don't know if that's the name. It might be vice versa. I don't fucking know, but I don't know. But that was the original name of the podcast. So the whole original podcast was once again set up to us cook together and then record audio, but it just never fell through because everyone just wanted me to do the cooking.
Yeah. I feel like you were doing a lot. You had to cook, you had to set everybody
I have to cook, I have to clean back up, set up the podcast, do the audio, edit the video. But I was just like,
But let me ask you a question, because I used to talk to somebody who's also a chef.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you feel like sharing the kitchen with somebody, like sharing the space? Like, do you like cooking with people, or
yes,
you're like,
absolutely.
you're not like, oh, I got it, you're not doing it right?
I love it because like
Cause I was cutting the tomatoes wrong, and I was like, you know what, you got it. That was my thing. Like,
No. So
you can show me how. Oh no, you're doing it wrong. Let me do it. And I'm like, okay, well,
no. So
sit over here.
the original business that I started, which is probably 2-3 years ago, was a catering / class business. So it was about people coming here with a group of friends, cooking. And I would have individual pieces of equipment for each person, and I would walk them through the process, or they could do my process, and I watch them.
Yeah.
So people would book me 5 at a time, which at that time I probably could only have 5 people. But like, I love people in the kitchen who are uncomfortable, because it's not that serious.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's fun. It's
It is
extremely fun. It's extremely fun to
Yeah.
make something from start to finish, and even if it like being in the industry that I've been in. I'm not in it now, but like being in that industry, like it's okay if it doesn't come out good.
Yeah. Or perfect. I think that's the
it's
exit.
okay. Like it's perfectly fine. I think that people think chefs just make everything perfect every time. That's not the truth.
Yeah,
I've
it's
worked
trial and error.
I've worked in huge kitchens. I've been involved with like really big circumstances when it comes to cooking. Nothing's perfect,
Yeah.
and neither is a chef. Like there's no chef in this universe that cooks perfectly every time.
Yeah.
You try things, you have fun, like and so when I'm in the kitchen with people, it's a great experience for me. I don't know about Robin.
Pressure, right?
I mean, it's a chance to just not be perfect and laugh at yourself. I mean, there's been times where, I had a little bit too much to drink, and I decided that I was gonna make some chicken that I seen on TikTok. And apparently,
I'm glad you said on TikTok.
I'm anti-TikTok.
He's anti-TikTok.
What?
But I'm like, there's so much good stuff.
so much good stuff.
But
Information.
the thing is, with TikTok, I think that a lot of people are getting that information food-wise where I already know it. Like, I already know the information. So
Right.
people are like making meals based off of TikTok snaps and
But
dances.
it's not just meals. It's not just dances.
That's the only thing I'm against.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Because let me
you're-
tell you,
yeah.
when I've been, the last few times I've been to Houston and Dallas, well, you went to Dallas with us that time. You didn't like the restaurant, but
I did not like the restaurant.
I got it from TikTok. Like I'll Google Houston brunch or Houston da-da-da and then see what comes up, and I'm like, okay, let's go try this place out.
Yes.
Let's go try this place out. You know?
Well, I'm actually against that too, because like I'm not a fan of the popular restaurants. I'm a person who really wants to like dig into the city when I go. Like that was the reason I didn't like True Kitchen in
But
Dallas.
that's why TikTok is awesome, because it's not only the
Yeah, it's not
popular
only.
places
Yeah.
that they bring up. I mean, they're gonna do the legwork for you. Because I mean, I've taken a couple of trips with my friends, and the first thing we do is we sit in the hotel room and get on our phone and start googling shit.
Right. So it's
Like,
kind of essentially the
it's
same thing.
I mean, I'd rather go on TikTok and watch, a 20-second video of them actually previewing their food, previewing the atmosphere. What can I expect when I get there? I mean,
And I have seen there's some of them. Yeah, so some of them are big places, but then some of them have been like you're saying, this underrated brunch spot or
Yes.
something like that. You know what I mean? So it's different, and there's different hacks. Like I've seen
that
different.
works.
Yeah, I've seen and even travel hacks, like to how to get your flight discounted.
cheaper.
Yeah, book on this day, then go in and rebook it and do something, and you get a cheap flight. Like I'm like, let me save this. Like it's so much like different educational
So much
stuff.
information.
Yeah.
There's this lady that there's women. If you're having trouble getting pregnant, there's somebody you can follow, and she goes over all these things, these vitamins you should take, these things you should ask your OBGYN. Things that they typically dismiss you on. No, ask this. Like TikTok that's the cheat code.
I got my chlorophyll from TikTok. Did you see that TikTok? Where it was going viral, like chlorophyll supplement, where it's like a natural detox. It neutralizes like odor. Like it's like it has a whole bunch of health benefits. It helps with cancer. It's been tested and helped prevent cancer. So it went viral on TikTok, and then I went to order it. It was sold out everywhere from GNC. How that goes, but. It's back on Amazon, so I was able to get me some liquid chlorophyll. So
How's it going?
I love it.
Oh, I'll try that.
Yeah, I love it. I'll send you the TikTok.
Okay, yeah, send me a TikTok. I'm gonna follow whoever always post
I'm
it.
so an anti-TikTok.
Yeah, he is.
You're probably anti-TikTok because you haven't actually watched it. I was anti-TikTok at first too. I was like, because I had a friend, she was always on TikTok. I'm like, you are so childish for being on there all day, and now I'm on there.
Let me tell you, my 60-year-old dad is the one who got us on TikTok. Like, he'd be sitting there laughing at his phone. I'm like, what? You on TikTok again? I literally, it was probably a year before I actually
Yeah, it took
got
me a while.
on. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I can get with it.
Yeah. TikTok is dope.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like I'm like the anti-vaxxer guy. Like I would take it if.
Right.
Right. Like, I'm not opposed to it. Like, if you show me a couple videos, I'm
you
glad.
know, give me the proof.
So I just to vouch like for what he was saying. So we did go to Dallas for my birthday in February, and there was a restaurant in Dallas, True Kitchen, and I found it on TikTok. Food looked amazing, but it was one of those things. I guess TikTok made it bigger than it should have been.
Hyped it up.
It was what? Then it was so busy.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't say it was bigger than it should have been. It should be a huge thing, but the way that they intuck the amount of people that were coming
Yeah.
was in my opinion, that's not good.
They could not keep up.
They couldn't support
with the demand. Yeah.
So
like
it was just, you go in there, it take you hours to be seated.
We left. We went and put our name on the waiting list.
Was it 2 hours?
Yeah.
Two and a half hours for the wait.
And then we left.
But we went
and then we
early,
came
too.
back. And we went early. We came back, and by the time we got back, they had even cut off. It was early. It was probably 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe.
It was
And they had
early.
cut off taking any more people. And then I think it's one of those places that's connected to like a club. Because we went past like the seating area, through a door, up some stairs, and then we was like in the VIP room. Like music was like we weren't even like.
It was so loud that you couldn't like us sitting right here, like we have to yell type shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like. However,
The food was good.
the food was
So
amazing,
y'all did eat there.
I ate. Did I eat pickles?
and the wait after we ordered the food took forever too. So but at this point, they kind of were over it.
Yeah.
So, but let me tell you, their Douce Margarita was
One hit a quitter.
bomb. It's slammed. And then I got the chicken and waffles. That was good. Their deviled eggs were good. They had deviled eggs with shrimp on top of them. Those were amazing. So the food was good.
Yeah.
Just the process of getting it was a lot.
And I could see why the demand obviously would skyrocket, because people do that now. People, they're in a new city. I'm finna TikTok things to do here.
Yep.
And to me, it really just dictates black-owned businesses in certain situations because, like, you know, we come out in masses. It is a black-owned business.
Yeah.
That restaurant we went to in Dallas, but I think it just dictates things to a way to like. Originally, if you have a restaurant set up right, and you think you're about to get all these white folks in here, and it ends up being none but black people, being black, handling their business, but being black, being who we are, restaurants tend to push away from that.
Yeah.
Which is something that I want to talk about as well.
We're sliding right into that. I know where you're going with this. I think I know where you're going with this.
Turkey Leg Hut.
Turkey Leg Hut. Yes.
And how the dress code has changed.
Have you heard about that?
They got a dress code?
Now,
It just happened within the last week, right?
week or two. Yep.
I think the last week. Yep.
So what's the dress code?
So you can't wear. There's like a list, but to my knowledge, you can't wear baggy clothes. You can't have holes in your pants.
Wow.
There's just a whole lot of shit that niggas we gonna wear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hot, and the line is like an hour wait.
Right.
Bro, like you want me to dress up for an hour wait?
Okay. Let me tell you the
something
dress
must have
code.
happened for them to do that.
No excessive revealing clothing, including distressed or ripped clothing that's revealing. Shorts must cover entire bottom. No obscene language or baggy clothing, including graphic or language on clothing. No excessive baggy, sagging pants. No house attire. This include wave caps, do-rag, house shoes, or shower caps. No exposed undergarments, including sports bras, panties, or any of these garments resembling these kind. No swimwear of any kind is allowed. 6 days ago.
Wow.
So I went on Twitter, because you know Black Twitter Handed it to them.
Yeah,
Handed it to them.
because that's what they described. I mean,
Is every black person who would go anywhere.
But and Turkey Leg Hut, like in everybody else's defense, like you have a DJ, you have hookah, you have 1942 margaritas that are this big on the table. Like that's what it's
What
been.
kind of
since
spot did you like? If you're going to create
it's-
that atmosphere,
It's been this
who do you
atmosphere.
expect to pull up?
Yeah, it's been this atmosphere for years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been no problem. We supported. We brought you to where you are now,
Facts.
and then now you're changing it because.
It'd be as if
I feel like it's money. I don't know,
No,
but I feel
like in my opinion, I think there's some investors that are on their way.
Yes, or now we're trying to shift who we want to appeal to.
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
Now that we have a following, I think
Yeah.
it would be in my opinion, it'd be the exact same thing of Cajun Eats said that same dress code.
Yeah.
You're outside.
Yeah.
And Turkey Leg Hut, you don't get your food, like you don't just pull up to the window and like, hey, I want to order a turkey leg.
I have waited
It's a little
in
bit
that
of
line.
confusion outside.
I waited in that line 2 hours.
And
probably
even
twice.
in the line, you can daiquiri shops.
Yeah,
like
you can
daiquiri
go-
stations. Like
Yeah, you
while
can
you're
go-
waiting in line,
go
grab
get
a
a drink.
daiquiri, and then still be in line and still be waiting an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
So I did go on Twitter. Turkey Leg Hut had a couple days later had posted this picture after that they were getting all the backlash, and they said, "So this is okay." And they had taken a picture of a girl. She had on shorts, distressed shorts that were cut all the way up, like you could
Send that to
see
me.
her
Send it to me.
backside. You can see her ass through the little distress in her shorts, like the you know.
This is exactly how it feels. This is exactly how it feels.
yeah, my friends don't know it. No.
So this is that's now how you got to pull up to go. So yeah, so I guess that it's stuff like that, you know.
So Turkey Leg Hut posted a picture example of a young woman dressed.
And then people were like, "Who is this woman? Did she get permission?" So
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was on Twitter.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Wow.
let me see if I can find it again.
I wish they would use me as.
Yeah,
I mean,
Can I
it didn't
get
show
some
her
money?
face, but
Give me some
yes, they were tearing them up for that.
Lord.
Still trending.
That's way too much, and that's why when I was saying like about like black owned businesses, like we usually start really low, which most businesses do, but once we get to somewhere, we want to start excluding the people who got us there.
Or it just might be, they could be trying to open up the audience, in a sense of,
White people not being comfortable with black people
white
being in
people,
spaces,
white
or any
people may not be
You know-
as comfortable to stand in line with, and that sounds so bad, but it's the truth.
No, it 1000% is the
You
truth.
know,
But
and
take the line away. Like if you're going to do that, make sure the line is an hour now.
Right. I just think they were just a little wrong to come out with that very direct dress code.
Yeah, right. Because you knew exactly who you're talking to.
Because white folks, if they do that, they around us anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna come out with a dress code, make it like efficient for everybody.
Right. And I mean, I don't think that dress code was, this is the dress code for black people, but I just think what they described, the wave caps, the bonnets, I mean, who else gonna wear those?
And then people
And how
even.
is that affecting my money? I'm still about to buy me a turkey.
And that's all.
And let me tell you something. My check has been $100 every time I've gone.
And that's
So
what I'm saying.
Makes
Like
my
those,
money different.
the people, everyone that they described are the people who made them who they were.
Yep.
And I think that at some point there was some kind of like situation with them legally. I think there was some kind of like tying legal thing that really put them behind, and this community just came out and just like supported them at a high level, and I mean everybody.
Was like, not turkey leg hut.
Yeah, you're not taking them away, so we coming in the droves, like
Right.
we coming out, like regardless of what we wearing, like we coming out and help y'all, and then they past that point, and now they're good.
Now it's like, thank you, but
Yeah.
this is our rules now.
So somebody posted the picture of the owner, and they said she better follow the same dress code because she has on distressed
So it's
pants.
Let me see.
with the cuts.
Yeah, they said she better have that same energy. She needs to have on the same dress code.
Damn.
I'm trying to find the others.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like black owned businesses, they're held under. They're held to,
Scrutiny?
yeah, they are. I feel like damn they do or damn if they don't. Honestly, damned if they try to make their restaurant or their club super high class because it's like, oh well, you done forgot where you came from. Well, why you?
And it's
I
in the
think
middle of third ward.
I think that was the same thing that happened at True Kitchen. before, like prior to us going there, I think like because the restaurant's it's a nice building. Like it's a beautiful structure. Everything from what I saw on the first floor, we were on the second floor, was just decently nice. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
mean?
really nice.
It was really nice.
Like I was disappointed that we weren't sat.
on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
And you saw like a dress code that made some, like everyone was dressed up, everyone was looking beautiful, everyone was like energy there, black women. I even saw some white folks there. Like it looked good. Like it was like, damn, this is black owned, perfect. But then they took us upstairs where it was just like attached to the club and music blasting crazy. Like no bartender up there either who was dealing with us. Like I think at some
They
point
mixed up our tables. We didn't get waited. It was a mess.
It's a demand.
that's what I'm saying. Like it just like going viral is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, it's good. You can keep up with it. I guess they probably just didn't expect the attention, but everybody's using TikTok now.
So y'all get ready. As soon as that name is out there, except for Calvin. But if he hangs out with me, he's going to a TikTok spot. we gonna go to a TikTok spot. I can't find that picture.
So we were talking about I don't know what race she was or anything like that, but the notion we're going to use. So if you're in a relationship, and I want to preferences to being in a relationship with a dude and a woman, like their perspectives the same. If you are in a relationship with a person who is now, what'd she say, elevate her life, whatever the word she used.
He elevated her life.
He put her in a better spot than she was prior, and they break up, but they're not married. They are just their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they mutually decide to depart from each other. Is it the responsibility of that dude and vice versa, that woman, to provide, I guess, payment for anything else moving forward if they're not together?
It's nobody's responsibility to do anything.
Facts.
I just feel like I don't know where that comes from. I think a lot of people have some sort of sense of entitlement. I've been there, I've been in that situation. I've been in a situation where I was with someone and they literally, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but they literally had nothing. I mean, they didn't have nothing but the clothes on their back and maybe a car. So, the car's in and out of the repo. So I feel like, I put them in an apartment, put them in a position where they were making money for themselves. And then when I dipped out, with my clothes, I'll be damned if he expected me to still keep up his lifestyle.
No, you lying.
He didn't though, but I feel like this is.
Okay. I thought you said he expected you to, but you're saying hell no.
I hope you don't ask. But don't even ask me to keep this up. Because
right.
On, bro. Like I don't understand why she. But again, I don't know relationship. I don't know. Looking at the girl, she looked like the video girl. She's probably still messing with him.
So that's what one of the other girls on the couch said. She was like, "You got this lifestyle while you were fucking him." Like now when y'all stopped fucking, because she said since he put her in this place, since they broke up. He still since he elevated her, he needs to keep her there until she can do it herself.
What?
Because she's gotten accustomed to this lifestyle.
Right.
So you can't take that from me because you gave me this lifestyle.
I think this is the bad part of. I don't think she was older than probably 24, 23 years old.
Oh yeah, this is just her mindset.
Like I think that's the bad side
And she truly believes
the people who are below the millennials.
Yeah, she truly believes that she
is entitled to shit like that.
Right.
Because.
Yes, I agree. I think that there are definitely people that have this mentality, and it's so weird.
I mean, but if you see this girl on the couch, she got these huge boobs. Look like she done had work done. I mean, your looks run the world nowadays.
Yeah.
When you look good, and and I'm pretty sure she's still fucking that man. Like it makes sense why she said what she said.
Yeah.
And I know that this man is not continually to support her without getting anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So press pause. I had the exact same thoughts that both of you had. I actually had a conversation with me and one of my friends, because she had posted on social media like the clip and her thoughts. And then so this was just like a 2-minute clip on Instagram is where it started, and it went viral, right? So I felt the exact same way. And then my friend, she sent me the whole video. She said, did you listen to the entire story? And she's like, fast forward to 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So the girl then proceeds to say, well, I didn't tell you guys the full thing. She's like, so back up, when we first met, I invested in him.
Oh, okay.
And then she said, I gave him $50,000 to start she took a loan, gave him $50,000 to start a business in the space, invested in his property or whatever. Now he makes like $3,500 a day. So now he's booming. So to me, I was like, okay, that changes the dynamic. That changes the dynamic just a little bit, because it's almost like he wouldn't be where he was today if it wasn't for her. So the way she explained it was, okay, I invested in him, and he was like, okay, now that I'm up, I'm gonna put you in a house. I'm gonna get you this
Mercedes. I'm gonna take
Mercedes.
care of you until you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
But I don't know why it took her until 9 minutes to say that.
Right.
But if he gave that back, like
so that's
here's $50,000 cut ties.
Not even that and then some. Like if he had done that for her, ties are cut.
Yeah.
Like leave it alone.
So I don't know the dynamic of what he paid back, but I agree. If he gave you, you loaned me this, I'm gonna give you back,
and also,
or whatever.
Also,
but if he's only paying for the condo and the Mercedes, he's coming out good.
But if the
so he might be like, I'm making $3,500 a day.
But if the conversation is that he took care of that and handled that, what she didn't explain either. You can just talk. Anyone can just talk, right?
Yeah.
But if the true thing is, like, if he took care of giving her that money back and handling that, leave him alone. And if not,
so she didn't say whether she got the money back or not.
She wouldn't.
Yeah.
They usually don't.
Yeah.
Like what are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, you cutting ties. Clearly, the thing didn't work. Y'all friends now.
But let me tell you, if I was old dude.
And who made her do it? And who made her?
They were in a relationship. So
who made her do it? Who made her invest $50? Like, what was the pitch? She didn't just do it for fun.
Yeah, I don't know. But I can understand when you're with somebody. You're like, okay, if I can do this, or if she comes with money or whatever.
Man, if that's the rules to a relationship, I need money back.
Well, absolutely. Let me tell you something. This is 20. She said she did it when she was like 22 or something like that. Let me tell you something. A 22-year-old girl probably would give it. Now, let me tell you, 37-year-old Brittany, now, hold on, we got to draw up some papers. Because I need to know when I'm getting my return, and I'm going to put some interest on this. And, like, when you're up, then if we're going to flip this, because we both going to have businesses. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like, why is she saying, now you got to keep me here? Like, so you did it wrong, boo. Because when he started making money, you should have had him investing in you some property, or you some land, or you some. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to wait for him to get. Now I gotta get my shit together.
Right.
Now that we broke up,
or not sitting there like, oh, he's paying my bills.
Yeah.
And the minute he decides to stop, what the fuck you gonna do?
Right. Because let me tell you, baby. If I know females, as soon as he gets another female, she gonna stop that. Who you paying? Who what?
Yeah.
And we do it now. It's we, right? Especially if he's making money like that. We're supporting who?
Right.
No, we not. She needs to go get her own. We gonna give her this little 25, because you done paid her rent up until this time. So we cutting it in half. Give her this little 25 back.
We gonna pay off.
Yeah, and we done.
She needs to stop messing with us. I don't know. I mean, that again, what you said as far as her. Stating that she gave him a loan to start to put him where he was. I mean, that does kind of change the dynamics, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That whole situation just gets under my skin.
Either way, she didn't do it right.
Yeah, the expectation just gets under my skin.
Yes, because her initial views and talking about the situation was, you brought me here, so you got to keep me here until I get on, and then she led into, well, I didn't tell you the whole backstory, so I don't know
And she could have made that shit up because I feel like the people on the couch was like,
Lighting her ass up.
no.
Yes, right. They were lighting her ass up. So,
Yeah.
I invested. Me too.
Oh, I didn't tell y'all? Yeah.
You need to lead with that.
Exactly. I don't know why she waited until 9 minutes in to admit that. So I'm pretty sure that was a lie. I'm pretty sure she intentionally. She has a sugar daddy. I mean, clearly that's what he is. He's a sugar daddy.
And to be honest, there are probably several females that would do the same thing, though. If you can get a dude that is going to buy you a Mercedes and pay for your condo, I think she had. They're going to let him. There's a lot of females that will, you know. So I don't know, but the entitlement, though.
Yes.
I think that's what
gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. But yeah, she did it all wrong. She needed to get her coins. Get your bag too. It saddens me to see females do that behind dudes.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like you'll bend over backwards. You'll lose yourself to trying to support a man, but then I feel like people are getting better. I feel like, especially I feel like our community is getting better at, take care of me first. Yeah. But I feel like women do it too often. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And
I started watching, and I hate this man with I'm not going to say I hate him. Yeah, I can't stand this man. Yes. Kevin
Samuels.
So I started watching his YouTube videos because I'm intrigued by his thought process. Like it pisses me off because I am contributing to the reason why he has so many watchers. I know it. But it's just like I watch it and I have so many questions, and I just it gets under my skin just what he preaches about. And he preaches that women are not supposed to be we were all taught wrong. Like our mommies and our aunties were wrong. They taught us that women need to go to school and make a name for themselves, and that's wrong. Women need to grow up and find a man. That's what they need to do. They need to grow up. They need to be an ideal woman for a man. That is literally our job and our only goal. And I'm just watching it, and I'm just like, and I see women get on there with him and try to fight him on it.
Yeah.
But he's just very much like, no, like I stand by what I said, and what makes you.
My thing is, I don't like the way that he talks at people.
Yeah.
If you want to have a conversation with me and explain to me why you feel the way that you do, or your opinions and your views, and let's have an open-ended conversation. But I don't like how he
belittles.
Yes, yeah. Like that's the part that I
don't talk over me. I will hang up. Do not talk over me.
Just belittle it. Okay, what's your dress size?
Right. How is that important? Why is that? What does that have to do with what I'm talking to you about? My dress size.
Right.
Okay, so you think you're a 10? You're stretching. I think you're a 5. Like, why? And I'm mad at myself. I'm a black woman. Why am I subjecting my ears to this? Like, why? Yeah. I know this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Why am I listening to it? And I think I'm just kind of intrigued by what he. Because some women are like, no, he has some truth in what he's saying. Black women are afraid of the truth. No, I'm just sick of black women feeling like we have to put ourselves in our place. We need to come to perspective. We're women.
Yeah.
We don't have to put ourselves in this box. Like you're a black woman. You need to sit here and you need to realize why you're the problem. Why am I a problem?
Yeah. So one of my friends that I went to school with, she lives in Atlanta. She actually called in and he did an interview with her. Now, she's a very educated woman, right? She has her master's degree. She she has her own business and works for corporate. Probably brings in over $100,000 or whatever. And like yourself, she can articulate herself. So it was very fun because I didn't know she did it, but somebody had DM'd and was like, "We saw you da da da," and I was like, "Wait, you listened to that fool? Like you had a full interview?" So I went and watched it this past, and it was getting under his skin.
Of course.
That he couldn't get under her skin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, I'll send it to you. So it's very comical because it's almost like he was trying to pick and get her to argue back. And she's like, really? And that was like, and she would laugh, and he was like you could see him getting flustered.
Yes.
Like it's really funny because I haven't seen an interview like that. Like normally, you know, he picks and
Usually the conversation is the way he wants it.
yes, and she said that. That's exactly what she said. You're right.
He controls the conversation when you call in, and I noticed that when people kind of get playful on the phone or are answering his questions with jokes, he's just like, "I'll hang up this phone right now," and it's like, "Dang, we can't have a conversation."
Right.
Like, oh, so then since I'm not conforming to everything that you're stating, we need to end this call.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stand this man, but I don't know why I watch it. I don't know why I watch it, and it pisses me off, and I don't want to help his views. But you know, and I did some research on him. He's a what is that called? When you're a consultant, an image consultant. That's all he is. He's an image consultant for men. And he has a degree in like chemical biology or something like that. But he's an image consultant. So I just feel like his whole thought process is just based on image. Like that's just kind of his, you know, I can't stand that man.
and I'll say this, like what he is now isn't what he was as starting off.
Heck no.
Like he's fed into the views
Yeah.
at this point. Because everyone tells the truth sometimes. You know what I mean? Like there are conversations that he does have back then that are now resurfacing, and now that he's really popping now, he has to be that kind of engaging with people. Like his views don't go up if he's not that.
Like he has to stay in character in a sense.
He has to. Like it's at a certain at any point when it comes to anything, like especially on the internet, you become a character of yourself.
Yeah.
Like you become a cartoon, a version
That
of
makes
yourself.
sense. I can see that.
You have to be that. So like anytime you have a conversation with someone moving forward, like you already are that. They picked that one great interview you had with a woman, and you had a dialogue that made the most sense. Now you have to try to have that back, but like people now know that interview happened, so now they have the ammo back to like say something back to you.
Yeah.
I don't agree with him. I did originally, like I was really on his like bandwagon at some point, me being a man, and and just understanding that like what he was saying then is not what he's saying now.
Yeah.
You know, and how he's saying it now is different than how he said it then. Like he would say the exact same thing to women now, and it'd be completely different than how he would kind of like give that information to a woman. Back then, and he shits on dudes too. Well, at least he did now. I don't know. I've stopped watching him. I don't even care at this point because it's ridiculous at this point.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to shit on her. Like, let me sit here and tell her, you know, you're a 1, you're a 3, you're a 4, you're a 5, you're a 6. Like now, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Like at this point, like regardless, if she's a 1 through 10, what does that have to do with the conversation that's going on right now?
Right.
That's my thoughts on him now.
Yeah.
Like I would say maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, when like I really did fuck with him. Like I really
When you
did.
first brought him up, I was like, I'm not having this conversation with you, Calvin. We're not.
I really fuck with him
I
because
can't.
he was giving knowledge. Now it's just like it's a gimmick. He's a character of himself.
Right.
Yeah, it's a gimmick.
And so that makes sense. It's kind of like when you have, like, if you start watching a reality TV show and you have that one person and that's what they're known for, so they have to do that every
Over and
season.
Over, you're a character of
Yeah.
yourself. Like
Yeah.
that's who you are now. Like you can't
Snooki
stop.
for a while could not let go of her drunken, being the drunken Jersey girl. She had to kind of keep that, even when she had kids and got married.
Yeah.
You're not Snooki if you're not drunk and
Right.
outside the road.
Right.
That's
Right.
the perfect parallel. Perfect parallel.
Yeah.
She had to stay a character for real.
So that makes sense. Now that you say that, because I didn't know anything about him until he went viral for talking reckless to women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what made him famous.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and like you said, like that's what went viral. That's what started getting him the views. So that's the character that he
Now he has to be that for like the rest of his life. Like he has to be that, or he just won't get the well. I mean, the views are gonna come now. Like literally, like Labria said,
He's
she
made a
said
name for himself.
she's like, I don't know why I watch this.
I get so mad at myself. And I literally, like, while I'm getting dressed in the morning, I'll just play it out loud and just roll my eyes the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, this clown.
He's a clown. Like I mean, like even like I wasn't even a fan of Derrick Jackson before his bullshit. Like I wasn't even a fan of him. But like it was like the opposite effect. Like all the shit he'd been talking the whole time, I was like bullshit, and it just turns out to be bullshit. You know what I mean? It was the
Yeah.
opposite effect. I don't know why I brought his name up, but
But I feel you. I feel you though.
Similar to its own bullshit.
Yeah. That's wild.
so the name of the track star, is it Shakari Richardson?
Yes. D-Town. Shout out D-Town.
She's from Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
So, to my knowledge, and you guys can correct me if I'm incorrect about like the circumstances, because once again, I've only read a little bit, but I've read enough about her to maybe I don't know. Actually, never mind. Fuck it. But so she tested for marijuana use in the trials, not the actual trials to the Olympics. So it was the trials. You get the tryout, see if you're fast enough, whatever. You make those trials. Right after that, they test you for marijuana. She tested positive for it for the Olympics. She, at this point, she has not made the Olympic team, not because of the weed, but quote unquote for her performance. What are y'all thoughts on that? And like when it comes to weed too, I think it's a weird dynamic here in the U.S. Like we don't understand how big this country is.
Right.
Like New York is legalized weed before Texas is going to be the last state, I guarantee you, that legalized weed. Mm-hmm. As we did slaves. Juneteenth. What's up?
Damn. Texas.
And I think people who are not from Texas don't understand the dynamic between black people and other races in Texas. We good. It's the white people and the people who really don't fuck with us who have the problem.
Right.
But unfortunately, in Texas, it being one of the biggest states in the world, or not, was it? Are we the biggest state? Well, other places don't call themselves states, but like the biggest like land mass, one of the biggest land mass in the world. That like we good over here in Austin. Mm-hmm. Like Houston's good, Dallas is good, San Antonio's good. It's everything outside of that.
Yeah, we're a red state.
Red as fuck. So, do you guys have any thoughts about legalizing weed, and as far as being disqualified because of it, or is it a rule and you have to stick to it, or is it something at this point where like the rule is cool over here, but it's not cool over here?
You want to answer this?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I feel like with I feel like you have to remain consistent.
Yeah.
And if somebody is disqualified, whether it be marijuana, whether it be
Crack cocaine,
like even though those are two different sides of the spectrum,
that's what I'm saying.
The rules are the rules, and I just feel like until marijuana becomes legal all over, I think it's just, mind you, I'm not somebody who is against marijuana smoke at all. I think I think it helps a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah.
And I feel like in her situation with her grieving from the loss of her mother and just needing that release,
coping mechanism.
Mechanism. Like I just think that I think it's just a little wrong to disqualify her for the Olympics. But I just feel like to be consistent, this is my corporate talk. You gotta be consistent. Fair is fair, and
So I agree with you. I feel like it sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks because where she was at, it's legal, but being, like you said, being consistent, you know what the rules are.
Yeah.
If you're trying out for the Olympics.
Exactly.
I saw, because I be in the comments. The comments is where it's at on stuff, y'all. The comments have me rolling. But I saw that somebody said Michael Phelps got to swim when he, but then somebody else said that's not true.
That comparison is completely irrelevant, and I think that that's where you get lost in the comments. That's where you lose the perspective of what you're actually watching, because Michael Phelps got caught with a video, like a picture.
Right, he had a video,
or it was a video or a picture. He got a picture of him doing things, and no one knows what it was. He didn't get disqualified. He had already done the Olympics. They tried to take his medals away from him.
Oh, okay. I forgot all about that. What happened?
That had already happened. He had already swam and got his 8 medals, and then all of a sudden after that, a video or a picture, whatever.
And actually, it was Diddy that posted it. It was Diddy that said in the comment. So, but then, yeah. But so I think they try to make it a race thing. I don't know if y'all feel like it is a race thing, if they are hammering into her because she's black. I don't know. I don't know if it would be different if it was
A white girl.
a white. I don't know.
It would.
You think it would or not?
Not in Olympic trials, because
No?
you're dealing with 120 other nations.
Yeah.
And if you're dealing with other nations, you gotta be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
But they can't say anything you did gave you the advantage.
Yeah.
And that's all the countries. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not like this was the Super Bowl or
Yeah.
some track thing that happened we're talking about 120 countries.
Yeah. It just sucks because first of all, it's not gonna make you faster. It's gonna slow shit down, if anything.
That's what people were saying.
You
It was
know,
like,
like,
she smoked at 8 and she was still faster than me? Like,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it's not gonna make anything faster. It sucks that it was weed, you know. But like you said, rules are the rules. You knew, you know. It's like us, you know, working for corporate, right? We decide to smoke. We know that there's a chance of random drug test, and we could lose our job, right? So it's the same thing. Like, you know what you're about to do. Like, now you made that choice. These are the consequences. She did own up to it. You know, shout out to Nike for keeping her, still sponsoring her or whatever.
Because imagine the uproar if they said, okay, we're just gonna turn a blind eye to this. You know, imagine
Flipping it.
Yeah, imagine what would happen if they did say, you know, we're gonna turn a blind eye to this.
Yeah.
You know, people would be outraged
Yeah.
because you know marijuana is it's a drug. So you will not get a job if that's in your system.
Right,
That's where
right.
we stand right now. This could be different in 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years.
And it might be different in 2 or 3 years, but the progression of it is so high in this country. I just think people don't think outside of this country. You know what I mean? Like, once again, like, CBD is legal here. You can still smoke. I can go to a CBD shop, which I do smoke CBD, and I use it to, like, relax. But, like, I would go to a shop, legally operate it, buy it, and then if a job says I have to take a P test, like, I still have the chance of having the THC that's in the CBD be tested.
Yeah.
It's completely legal. It's like going to a job and saying, "Yo, did you drink wine? Did you have some alcohol?" Like, if you did, you can't get the job at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Which I feel like the dynamic is crazy, and I know drugs affect different people, but I feel like if you were to come to work drunk off some wine, you will not be able to perform your job function.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to work and you're high, you might be able to perform your job function way better than you could have.
Focus.
It's insane, and I just feel like the
Blinders.
Yeah.
Listen, you can drive like a driver's ed teacher when you're high.
This is true.
Don't do it when you're drunk. You'll feel something.
I'm hitting my signal every time.
Listen, I am approximately 10 feet from the top
I'm
sign.
telling you, everything from driver's ed comes back into your memory.
Use your blinker. Turn my music down so I can focus.
Right, exactly. Yes.
No, really.
This is true. This is true.
So
I think that it'll definitely be a lesson learned for her.
Absolutely.
You know,
She's young.
She's young.
21. She's 21.
Yeah, she's young. So next time, she's gonna come out the gate swinging.
Hell
I
yeah.
guarantee it. And I look forward to that. You know, sometimes you have to go. We talked about it earlier. You have to hit some stumbling blocks.
Right.
You know, you might have some rocks thrown at you, but use that.
And she's
Use
an
that.
example.
Yes,
Everybody else, no, but they take this shit serious.
exactly.
You know?
Don't let it happen again, or happen to anybody else. Y'all see what happened, and they're not playing. They are not playing. So be on your P's and Q's. But I think she can definitely, you know,
Respect.
yeah,
Especially
absolutely.
Nike's keeping her. I respect that a lot.
Yeah,
But I do think just in order to be fair and consistent, I think the decision
it's justified.
was justified.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But I hope she got a good batch. I hope it hit. I hope it was hitting how it was supposed to hit.
I just hope it makes sense. Like, I think a lot of people were talking about, like, support her, and I get it, right? Like, when anything happens to us, like, we have to put in that support because we're only 12% of this country.
Yeah.
So somebody else that qualified, another runner, you know, I did feel bad. She's like, because there's people now saying they're not going to watch the Olympics because she's not going to get to run. But this other girl was like, but there's so many other of us
Athletes who did the exact thing that you should have
that
done.
worked hard.
That's fine.
Yeah, and so now we're not getting your support. So I feel for them. That makes sense.
I'll be
Like,
honest, I was gonna watch Olympics regardless of if anything.
me too. I probably will forget.
I
this
don't
happened.
like. When is the Olympics?
Right. It's the weekend.
Isn't like foosball an Olympic event now? Like what the fuck?
I think it's been around. I think foosball been around.
Foosball? Like
No.
the little. I'm talking about the.
I know, and I think you got to have some talent. You got to know
Ping-pong?
when to snap that wrist.
Yeah. That's
Robin
the
didn't
best
beat me in
pole
foosball.
That is, it's intense.
She didn't beat me.
You lying.
That and ping pong,
Both of them.
both of
It's
them.
a sport.
Had this happen in one of those sports, do we even talk? Are we talking about this? Like, had that happened, and like if so and so was caught smoking weed on the foosball tournament of the ages. Like, are we even talking about it? Like,
Probably not. That probably would help. Now that would be a disadvantage because will they really be
That's too
focusing on that
fast.
ball?
You over-
You're focused.
Yes.
That we gonna have you
That's
focused.
an advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an advantage. So that might not work.
what? Foosball is the thing? What's that?
The Olympics of the 23rd.
Oh, who cares? It's this month.
You asked the date.
It's this
I'm
month.
gonna watch. They got some. I want to see gymnastics. I like watching the gymnastics.
Yes.
I
You
like.
watch them real time, or you do the highlights?
No, I watch them real time.
I don't.
Like, cause sometimes it's on during the day while I'm at work. Now, if I miss it, but if I come in and it's on, I'm gonna watch them tumble.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna stay up to like 2 or 3 because sometimes they be
'Cause they be overseas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I'm not. If I catch it, if it's on, I'm gonna watch it.
Right. And then after that, we'll catch the highlights.
Exactly. I'm tapping into the shade room. The shade room will let me know.
Foosball, an Olympic sport? No. So it's not. Was it at one point? I feel like I seen them niggas foosball with our like country logo on it. Maybe that was just like what they do.
You had a dream.
Competitive sport.
Was that bowling? I don't know.
It's competitive, but it's not an Olympic sport.
How do you train for that? Put weights
Yeah.
on your ankles, on your wrist.
Your wrist. Yeah. You just gotta flick the wrist. Work it out.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand like how we can be a country full of like legalized weed and people be in jail for it.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that.
Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
That would be tough. That'd be like purge stuff. Like if you were in jail for murdering and doing whatever,
And then
but
it became legal.
yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, but you were put in jail when it was illegal. Yeah, it's crazy. People are literally sitting in jail right now for some
For people
weed.
who are doing
I'd
like
be
they
mad.
can
I'd
smoke
be
across the
mad.
highway from the
Boy,
jail.
let me tell you something.
look at
I would be mad.
I'm mad.
I couldn't be locked up and no.
Yeah, y'all got me messed up.
Fucked up.
Doing some 20 years. And just imagine if they went to jail right before the year before it came.
Oh no, you gotta chill.
The year before, I'm doing 19 more years and it just went legal. Like somebody let me out.
That's
Somebody
tough.
write your local congressman.
But I feel like if you're in jail for that amount of time, usually you're in jail for if it's weed related, it's because you were pushing,
Oh, yeah.
and that's
He's on the
still
street.
illegal.
You mean legal weed places in California? Like they pushing weed crazy.
Yeah, but they got a license to do it. You got people on the street. They got caught
Talking about like some ghost and power
making
type
some,
stuff.
really coming up on some.
Not
weed.
even. There's people in jail right now who had like a couple ounces.
Yeah.
Now there's certain ounces that don't even like.
Because they
push it
used to
over
throw
now.
the book at you behind some weed. They used to throw the book at you. That sucks.
Oh, this fell. This one out. Yeah, I mean that's a weird dynamic. And don't tell me either. Like if it's legal, don't tell me while I'm in jail.
Yeah.
Like don't even bring it
You
up.
know they did.
Don't
I mean,
bring-
you know people did, especially like in the
New people coming in.
newcomers coming in, or your boy call
I
you,
got busted for crack cocaine. With
or your homeboy call you on your call. Like
You got 2
what?
days?
Yeah.
I'm in here for 10 years for weed. You got what? Oh, that weed shot, that was easy. That was
Oh,
like
yeah.
work. I actually grew a house. It's still operational.
Right.
I'm just in here for a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild.
Your boys now got a whole spot.
Now let me ask y'all. So y'all currently reside in Austin, right?
No, they live in Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
I live in Austin, kind of.
Okay. Well, I say that to say, how do you guys feel about just the growth here in Austin when it comes to the housing market and the amount of the traffic? Yeah, what's up, Calvin?
So I think we've had the conversation about the soccer team
Yes.
that's here and what that's going to look like for the city moving forward. I've had this conversation with multiple people. Like, I moved from that area because every time I renew my shit, it went up like $300-400
Absolutely, yeah.
every time. And I would do 6 months at a time just to like maybe be flexible. But every time I would renew, talking about $400 extra on your rent to re-renew for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it used to be $50. It was like an extra $50 every 6 months. And then I was like, what the fuck's going on? So I started doing research, and I found out the stadium was being built over there. And there's a Gucci store that's being built. You know, like there's so much money that's coming in that area. In Austin, it's going to be tough.
And they have the right to. I mean, and the reason why I bring this up is because, you know, I'm somebody obviously born and raised in Austin. I've had goals of buying a house here, but there's no way I could buy a house
So
here.
now you have to look in places like Manor.
Yeah.
Or look in
Well, now I'm
Bell
starting-
County. I heard Bell County is.
And that's where I'm not going. That is, you would never catch me in Killeen. If I gotta go to Killeen,
throw the whole state away.
That's the last place.
I told my boyfriend, I was like, babe, I wouldn't go to Killeen for free. I wouldn't take a free house.
Let me tell you. This is where I fucked up. I met my ex-husband in Killeen at the club.
Everyone has a story about something.
Let me tell you, I should have known, right?
It's
Like,
never good.
I should have known better.
I know very few success stories.
Right, I should have known better. I should have went to the club that night. Damn it.
No, Austin
But
is
no.
growing.
Yeah.
It's growing. And
It's a little intimidating. Like,
It is.
it's houses, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. House.
500?
5, 7, and then if you bid 7, someone's gonna from
Outbid
Cali bid 9.
1,000%.
Cash offer.
Cash.
Yep.
And I'm like, I can't compete with that. My brother, love my brother. I'm so proud of him. He just purchased a home. He purchased one in Taylor, and I'm like, that was also one city I said I'd never live in. But I might have to find myself in. I'm definitely not gonna be in Killeen, but you might find me in Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted to be in Hutto. That's where I went to school, but houses out there. I mean,
We were in Hutto 7 years ago. Six years ago.
and it was
reasonable.
Yeah.
Now it's gone up. I think the house that we lived in, I think now it was 2 something,
Yeah.
and now it's like somebody just sold for like 4 or 5. Like it's
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
It's a little intimidating. So it's just like I kind of sit back and I'm like, is Texas somewhere that I'm gonna reside? You know, all my family's here, but you know, when it comes to just politics, laws, the affordability here, the growth. Although growth is good, I just don't know if like I talk to my family and I'm like, I know I was born here, but do we have to stay?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree.
like it's just like Texas is becoming, and it's consuming me, and I love the city. Obviously I lived here all my life, but I just don't know if.
So do you feel like Texas or the Austin area? Like, would you relocate to like Dallas area or Houston area?
I think most of the major cities are trending in the same way.
Yeah,
Or like the outskirts too?
not
I mean,
to
no
say the outskirts.
Like the outskirts of Houston, the outskirts of Dallas?
I think Austin is getting like it's becoming what all those other cities didn't get the opportunity to like grow into. Like
Yeah.
Houston was. It was that like they have multiple sports teams. They have a lot of money coming in and out. You can even tell as far as like Houston goes in the last couple of years, the way they get to certain places are a lot different than what we did maybe 10 years ago, 11 years ago, or whatever. San Antonio is the same way. Oh, actually, San Antonio might be the outlier. San Antonio might be the outlier as far as major cities in Texas
San Antonio's not terrible. Now I don't know if I would ever go to San Antonio.
I was there for 7 years.
You weren't feeling it?
Well, I was married at the time. Domesticated.
That's what you weren't feeling.
No, I was good in it, you know. But so 5 years I was there while we were together, whatever. I got divorced at 25. Single black professional is that's not it. That's not it for us.
Family
you know?
oriented though. Is it?
Family, yes.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
it depends on where you're at.
Where yeah,
Yeah.
what you're going out there for.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I feel like Austin has different kind of money here. We got tech money here.
Yeah.
You know, we
Now.
got Tesla here. We got there's so much money coming into this area. It's different money. It's not necessarily sports team,
Yeah.
entertainment. It's all tech. And I see it
that plays
firsthand.
into it a lot.
Yeah.
There's a reason the sports team has been brought here, you know, because
Yeah.
of the money. Like the Tesla building. I don't know if have you seen how it's structured. Tesla's not even been built yet. That's something that's going to happen 5-6 years from now,
Really?
right? But have you seen? I think I showed Robin on our way from Dallas. It's right off the toll road, going off of 290. It's a huge facility. We're talking about acres upon acres. So you probably saw it on the way back, or even your way, because when we passed you, that's when I seen it. So you probably saw it really early when you were going to Houston.
Okay, I didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Tesla building.
Oh, it is. So
Yeah.
wait. So they're
So they're in the process of building, but we're talking about 3, maybe I would say at max 6 years from now, where those jobs are going to be available. And then
Bringing in money.
it's a huge, it's acres. You're talking a car manufacturer, like it's acres
Wow.
that they have to build,
Wow. Yeah. No.
and that's 40,000 jobs maybe
yeah.
on the way.
Yeah.
So you telling me it's more people on the way?
It's going to be more people on the way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Austin is
saying.
big enough?
They're
Saying.
Why do you think Palmer's going through the transition right now structurally?
Yeah, I mean, you see every high rise, you see mid rises, you see apartments just getting built up overnight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you thought of somewhere else that you'd rather live outside of Texas?
It would be. I would have to have my family go with me. I'm very close with my family. There's not
Me
much
too.
of us, but if I moved to another, I mean, it would literally be like another state,
Yeah,
like
same.
Arizona, you know,
Yeah.
New Mexico, or just somewhere in Nevada, like just somewhere that's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
And I would hate to leave Austin, but it's just I feel like I'm being
Pushed out
out a little bit. You know,
Definitely that.
Like I can't even afford to live here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like thank God I work in the industry because I would never be able to afford the type of apartment I live in. You
Yeah.
know, we get discounts, but even people are coming to me like, "Hey, I got my renewal." That's what you were saying. My renewal is $300 increase, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what it is.
"There's no
I'm so
wiggle room."
sorry.
Like,
I'm so sorry.
2 years ago, I might have been able to negotiate that, but I can't. Like, it is what it is. And what I've been told to tell them, you take this renewal offer and see if you find better, and they don't.
And,
Damn.
and even doing that, like it's hard to do. Like so, I mean, that's part of your job and your structure. But like doing that and going through the process of getting what the actual rent pay would look like, like sitting in an office, going through. Because a lot of places now don't even give you that offer. They don't even tell you really is until you've signed some kind of like paperwork, doing some kind of background checks. And in my opinion, I don't know. You're in the industry, so is that how you guys operate, or like how do you guys give an offer, like not an offer, but like how do you even say, yo, this is what your rent's going to be? Is it just based off the prices online, or
It's based off of market. So like basically once a week we do weekly calls. We call our comps. What are you guys priced at? And that's what their renewal is based off of. I think last year hit us pretty hard because of the pandemic. So a lot of people were getting super cheap rent, and people that had renewals didn't even get an increase. Like it kept it the same. So now this year they're seeing double increases. The people who got super cheap rent is seeing rent at a regular rate now. And people are like, wait a minute, I'm still affected by COVID. I still ain't have no job. Or,
Yeah.
and it's just like, it's a really hard, our economy is thriving for people with money. But for the regular old folks here, it's like, whoa, slow down. Like I'm still recovering from COVID, or my job didn't change. I didn't get an increase all of a sudden.
yeah,
So I
tough.
think the pricing, the housing market and the renting out here in Austin is just becoming a little ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous,
lot.
and I have to sit here and talk to these people with a bold face and defend the prices.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, I feel you.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, so it's just a little intimidating. So I just don't know I don't know next year. Are we gonna see? Is it gonna keep going up and up? Are we
And it
gonna be
is.
a mini LA?
It is.
Are we
It
gonna
is.
crash? Price is gonna go back to normal? I mean, we just don't know.
The city of Austin is trending in kind of like the major city
Everybody wants to come here.
I
because
saw.
of the taxes.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas now.
Right.
I think people don't understand the like in certain cities, like especially California being the whole state. People can pay less than $30,000 on average on taxes by moving here.
So, not to change the subject, I just had a thought. Speaking of, well, I mean, it's the same subject, but I saw on the news how you were saying you think it's going to keep increasing. They said last week that this is the first time it's going down, the market. Not in prices, but how long the houses are staying on the market. Like, average houses have been going in 2 days.
People are moving here. They're moving, like, so I'll use Tesla as an example. So Tesla has employees, right? Tesla's moving here. Who do you think is moving here? Tesla
Right, but I'm just
employees.
saying that they're not selling as quickly right now. So it's slowing, they're saying it's slowing down right now.
Because the houses that are already here, no one wants to buy.
Yeah, they're too expensive.
Yeah.
No
So
one wants to
people
buy
are-
those houses.
people
Those
are
houses are going to
renting.
get those houses are going to get knocked down, rebuilt up as probably some kind of apartment structure and things like that. Like, why buy a house?
Nobody's
Yeah.
buying a house right now.
why?
I've had people that have told me last year, yeah, I'm going to renew, but I'm buying a house next year. Here we are next year. Yeah, I'm going to renew because I'm not
gonna
ready to buy a house.
That's,
Yeah,
that's the exact
yeah.
position I'm in. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna renew for a year. Like, I told you that. I was like, what's the point of me searching right now?
Yeah.
There's no point.
You're going to
Yes.
pay
I'm gonna pay way more.
Yeah. The out of towners are still coming and buying these cash houses though.
cash. Like,
But they're not living in them. The thing is, like, people aren't. So a lot of people are renting houses here in Austin, right? They don't live in them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing that happened when
Or
New York in the
Airbnb
beginning,
or
in the
something
beginning
like
of the
that, yeah.
pandemic. The beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people who were outside of the New York area because New York was shut down. Like, I was in New York at the like base of the bullshit. Everything was shut the fuck down. But people were buying houses, not occupying them, waiting till the pandemic was over, and then recouping their money by letting people in at an affordable price.
That makes sense. I mean, if you got the money.
yeah, you
If
got
you
the
got to
money.
spend it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird, but like, I feel like I've seen this coming for years. Like, I've been waiting for this to happen. Like, as far as the market goes, and as far as like what people are like even looking for. Like, what does Austin truly have to offer for people who are not from here,
Austin's a great city.
Yeah.
weather-wise?
Yeah, we don't have any major weather. We don't have major tornadoes, hurricanes.
Except this last year. It was
Until
a little off.
the cold.
It was off its rocker.
I don't know what geostorm stuff was going
I'm telling you,
on.
Biden just got in there and he didn't know what switch to flip. He was like, "Damn, it should have been California or New York. I flipped. Shit, fuck."
And then we were snowed in. Like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, that was.
ERCOT didn't know what the fuck to do.
ERCOT telling us we need to lower your
AC.
your usage. Fuck you.
Lower my taxes, B.
Except-
Right.
and then we can talk.
Right. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
It's crazy. Good old Texas.
Good old Texas. The last thing I want to talk about as far as like that goes, like, I was in New York at the time and it was snowing there, and I felt bad because my apartment had light the whole time, right? And everyone else had no lights or energy.
Yeah, those power outages.
Those
yeah.
power outages. People
When you were
had-
in New York, or we?
when I was in New York,
When
at
it
the time,
snowed here, he
I
was in New York.
Oh.
and it was snowing, but I thought it would be cool for me to post pictures of it snowing, but I was like, that's insensitive to, to everyone that's in
Boy,
here.
you better live your life.
Right.
Live your life, right.
I was lucky.
As soon as we get some signal, we gon' like it.
No, my whole timeline was tragic.
They're probably like, wow, must be nice. No, we thought it was cute. We thought it was cute the
At
first
first.
2 days. We were like, okay, Snow, you sticking. You
Right.
sticking. Then day three.
Did my car's under it? What the fuck?
Yeah, for real. No, so I have a garage. I have a garage in my apartment complex. So I'm parked in there, and like the snow had like literally built up so high that I couldn't
Couldn't look
even.
through.
I was trapped in there. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It was a scary time.
Cold world.
Hopefully, we'll be more prepared. Like we didn't have enough salt to
I
salt
mean,
the
the
roads.
Texans were prepared, but they didn't want to spend the money. Cause Texas was prepared. They just didn't want to spend the money.
How were we prepared?
I mean, they weren't prepared in those moments, but you know, you have to send employees to handle that stuff, right?
Well, when I say we weren't prepared, I mean our building structures weren't meant for that type
okay.
of weather. So with that being said, a lot of, not even my properties, but people lost power, people's pipe bursted. People are still dealing with insurance claims because their houses are
Damages.
destroyed. So it's like the houses, nothing is built for snow like that.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of what I mean by them not being prepared for that type of issue. Because, yeah, a lot of people are still dealing with that. It's unfortunate.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Super terrible. We only have maybe a minute and a half left. We've done hour 50
Okay.
at this point.
Doesn't even feel like it. Time goes by too fast when you're having fun.
It does.
Was there anything you wanted to touch on before we get out of here, or do you have your quote ready, Brittany?
I do.
Okay.
I was honored this time.
I don't know. You put me on a spot.
Well, how about, did you enjoy your time with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love to just, I just got off work and I've just kind of been dealing with angry people all day. So it's nice to sit down and have a casual.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like the whole. I'm in the mood of just like getting like back to like talking to people about it because of the pandemic. Like when I started it was just before that shit popped.
Yes.
No one wanted to come over, no one wanted to do anything, no one wanted to like be a part of the process or anything like that at that point. So I'm just now getting to the point where like, all right, everyone that I talked to before, come on, let's do it. Let's
Get the schedule.
Let's
Put
do
you
it.
on the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Brittany would, do her quote, and we'll get out of here. We'll take some pictures in front of the stuffs.
Yes. All right, so I have our quote of the day, quote of the week for you guys. So eventually all things fall into place. Until then, laugh at the confusion, live life for the moment, and know everything happens for a reason.
Amen.
Perfect. This is the Can We Talk podcast, episode 15. You guys enjoy the rest of your night.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
evening. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.